Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
Hi, welcome back to Community Hotline. Glad you stayed with us because now we obviously have a very interesting interview here coming up. Looking at all these fun things here on the table. We're going to be talking about the Multnomah County Fair, and with us is Larry Smith, who is the chair of the fair. Chair of the fair?
Yes, I am the chair of the fair.
And a MetroEast volunteer as well. Good to have you back, Larry.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Good. You know, it's nice to, you're not out here doing your exercise show like you usually are doing in here. You can sit down and relax for a little bit.
I do have the capability to sit still.
Amazing. It's quite a great quality. So, Larry, the Multnomah County Fair is in its, 111th year? Is that right?
Yes, indeed. 111 years.
Wow, that's a long time. So, tell me a little bit about it. It's coming up the end of May, is that right? Is it Memorial Day weekend?
Yes, yes. We are the first county fair, the first fair in Oregon. We have it on Memorial Day weekend at Oaks Park.
Right.
It coincides with Oaks Park's schedule, so we have an early fair.
First one kicks off the season.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's great. Now, the fair is free too.
Yes,
is that still the case this year?
Free parking, free admission, best deal in town.
That is an amazing deal, because some of those fairs get a little spendy.
Yeah.
But you've got everything all the other fairs have and more sometimes. What's the thing that you look forward to most every year at the fair? Besides it being over when you're done.
Yeah, I guess being over, that's one thing, because it does take quite a lot of work to put it together.
Yeah, a lot of volunteers, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Last year it was kind of interesting. I didn't actually go on the camel ride, but there were a couple of camels that came in, and they were very popular.
Really?
And they were very sweet camels. The camel rider, we were doing an interview for one of the news stations, and the camel driver, I guess you would call it, that led him around, kissed it on the cheek, and it kissed back.
Oh my gosh, oh how funny.
There are also exotic animals, and a lot of people might think, what are they doing with the exotic animals there? But the group, it's the Walk on the Wild side, actually rescues abandoned animals and
like
that
rehabilitates them, or
animals that wouldn't have a chance otherwise. That maybe the mother died and there's no one to raise them. They have a lady that works for them that raises all the baby animals, and there are animals that they can't be returned to the wild at this point, and so they've got kind of an animal farm. Yep.
So these aren't the exotic animals here.
Those are not exotic. It looks like the sheep and the
llamas. And,
these are the 4-H kids. We no longer have space to have a huge barn full of animals, but the 4-H children will bring in goats and chickens and rabbits and small
that they've
animals.
Raised.
And yes, indeed.
And do they still do it for ribbons and?
Oh yes, there's the camel. That's a very nice camel.
Look at it. Oh my gosh, it's got such a big head.
It's pretty big. I did get out of having to ride it myself, but maybe this year, who knows?
Maybe.
I'd get brave.
Maybe. Oh, how fun. So, okay, there's the rabbits. Yeah.
There is a rabbit show on, I believe, Sunday, just for open class rabbit show, and you get rabbits of all shapes and sizes. The young lady there is Anna, who is our spokesperson. She was here last year.
I remember
on this
her.
show.
Yeah, I recognized her right off the bat. Yeah, she was great. She knew how to handle those rabbits.
Oh,
I was impressed.
She is the champion overall show person.
Is that right?
They have to show a rabbit and a cavy and a chicken, and cavy is a guinea pig.
Right.
I didn't know that.
I was trying to think about. Yeah, I did know that, but I wouldn't have remembered. Wow. So there's animals that the 4-H kids bring.
Right.
They buy for ribbons, and they have all the produce and flowers and things like that still that people will bring, and like this thing here?
Yeah, you wouldn't think this time of year there would be, going into Memorial Day weekend, there would be very many flowers or vegetables available.
Yeah,
but
you think more like September, maybe, you know, the Oregon State Fair would have a lot. But
right. We usually have over 800, believe it or not, exhibits in the floral and garden department.
Really?
A lot of it's because I've learned how to save things ahead of time. From last year, there might be, oh, there we go, yeah. You can get spring vegetables. There's that's a salad bowl arrangement where you can get some pretty decent lettuce and maybe even cabbage and things like that. And then I've also, many of us have learned how to save our beans. You display beans in jars that are dried, and dried herbs and things like that. Plus there's a large array of spring flowers available, and then people make flower arrangements. Right there you can see there's a whole long table of just different types of arrangements and design people have done. Some very talented people in Multnomah County. I
imagine with having less flowers and vegetables to choose from, people get even more creative.
Yeah, you have to get creative.
Yeah. Oh, look at how beautiful those are.
Those are the roses. We have some people from the Rose Society that split their roses between our show and then the Rose Festival show, which goes on shortly afterwards.
Yep. Just talked with the Royal Rosarians about this. So yeah, they have their big rose competition, rose show competition. Yeah. So what are all these ribbons here? Are these just ones that you give out, or are these ones you've actually won?
These are example of the type of ribbons for special awards that are given out, and these were all ones that I won last year. I tend to be...
You win a lot of them, if I remember correctly.
I tend to be rather busy. I used to just participate in the fair, and then I became a board member, and then I became president, so now I do it all.
Next thing you know, you'll be taking the camels around.
I don't know about that. But,
so this is Best of Show. So this is one of the awards that people can get when they go ahead and compete in the...
That is correct, and anyone can enter the competitions. It's very easy.
Age limit?
There is no age limit because there are some categories for youth and even in some classifications for people who are over 65 or over 70, or there are people with disabilities categories in the art and photography sections. There's also an arts and crafts. If you're want to try your hand at cooking, there is a foods department, and of course needlecraft. One of our best volunteers here, Elizabeth Hampton Gray, was Queen of Needlecraft last year.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
she has her quilting, and she's amazing. You also brought a video, didn't you, that kind of gives a good feel of how the whole fair goes.
Yeah, kind of a short montage of what is there to look for.
Yeah, so I think we should take a look at that now.
Okay.
All righty.
Exotic animals, thrill rides, entertainment, exhibits, and more. Multnomah County Fair at Oaks Amusement Park. Memorial Day weekend. Free admission.
So the fair has obviously, there's food you can buy there, I assume?
Yes.
So it's not just food to display and to try to win prizes with. It's food you can eat.
There's a good grouping of vendors that come in from outside that are just there during the fair that bring a really good variety of fair food. And from what I was seeing last year, the prices are better than you might get at most festivals.
Really?
Better than you'd get at the Rose Festival, because I've been to both of those.
Some of those can get pretty spendy.
There's also I'd be getting big trouble if I didn't remember that there is something new this year. It's called Art in the Park, where there will be local Northwest artists that come in to sell their products and give demonstrations on different artsy and craftsy type things. Just
maybe somebody throwing a pot of clay or something, or whatever.
Potters, people that do things with different types of media and photographs and things like that. So that'll be really interesting. And I've heard there's at least 35 people different groups coming in to participate in art in the park.
What about entertainment, like music? I saw there was a gentleman there strumming the guitar.
Yeah, there are, I believe, going to be 3 stages. So it'll be like a 3-ring circus where there'll be different acts. There's there's a group that comes in that has performance studio that of course it has a lot of kids and young adults that are really trying to get the exposure, and so they'll come out and perform. And on Sunday there is that's the big smackdown, the talent competition with cash prizes for people of all ages.
Really?
And if you go to the Multnomah County Fair website, which is new this year, it's www.multco.org. You can get all the information about the talent show, or if you want to get brave and bring down an exhibit and try to win a prize, try to beat.
That is an amazing vegetable there.
It was growing. It's called a tromboncino squash, and it's going to be entered for the giant vegetable competition. I've never seen one this long.
I've never seen one anywhere near that long.
I actually had one.
That was grown in your garden?
It was grown in my garden, and this is last year's crop, of course. It was probably picked in about October, and fortunately it survived the winter in my basement without spoiling. And so I had one that was probably almost a foot smaller, and the David Letterman show called me about it.
Are you serious?
Back a few years ago, and I did talk to them and give them information. I don't know if they ever put it on, but someone had said maybe they'll fly you out to New York, and I thought, with David Letterman, I don't know if I'd want to appear with a giant squash, with what he would probably do to me with it. But anyway, just an example of some unusual things. Last year, I brought you an adorable young lady with
the rabbit girl.
Sweet rabbit, and this year I bring you a giant squash.
Gee, Larry, I don't know if it's getting better or worse.
We're maybe going downhill.
Tell me one thing. You mentioned the website, and I've checked it out, and it's a nice site. It's a nice addition to be able to have people to go there and get all the information they need. I saw something about the military on there, military and veterans, and that it's dedicated to them. Is that right? Do you know about that?
Yes. This year we decided, and we actually have on the cover of our exhibitor handbook, we've got the emblems of the military and first responders in the area.
Responders, that was it. Yeah.
And we wanted to honor them because they give so much to the community, and so we've decided to dedicate the entire fair to honor the different groups. There's information on the website about and in the exhibitor handbook as well about some of the things that each group does for the community.
That's great. That's
great. Yes.
So I was going to say, you probably give them a discount on getting in, but hey, when it's free already,
it's free.
That's great. Well, I hope that you'll get a lot of the first responders and military coming to the fair, and then people can go up to them and shake their hand and say thank you for their service.
Yes, indeed. We're inviting them and say, you can come in uniform. We'd love to have that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Give them some honor.
Yeah. So anything else that's new or different or that we should really look for at the fair this year? Besides good weather, which I'm sure you're arranging for.
We're hoping so. Up till now, it's been a little iffy around here. But
maybe we can get it out of its system. The weather will be, bad.
We'll have a fair regardless of the weather. I would say that you definitely want to, if you go to the fair, there's also the Oaks Parks attractions.
So the rides and stuff will be available
and
for
the skating rink.
And the skating rink. I spent many hours of that skating rink.
The mini golf course, and they have I can't remember the name of it, but they have a brand new ride that they're promoting that they just brought in.
Oh, okay.
So usually during the promotion of the fair, we'll go on the early morning news, and everybody, all the 4-H kids run away, and I have to go on the rides, and it's actually kind of fun, believe it or not.
I went on some last year with my granddaughter. It was pretty fun. Yeah, yes. It was pretty fun. We kind of stuck to the carousel because she was really young, but yeah, it's fun. So we're just about out of time, Larry. Thank you for bringing your giant tromboncino. Yeah, it's
It's
not every day
not
you see one of
edible
those.
at this
Yeah, I'm
point.
sure not, but it looks pretty cool. So thank you very much, Larry, for being here and sharing. And I hope that if people are interested, and they should be, go check it out. Go check out the website, and then hopefully we'll see you at the fair.
All right. Thank you, Monica.
You bet. Thanks a lot. And thanks for watching this segment of Community Hotline. We'll be right back with one last one that you don't want to miss. So stick around.
Hotline is made possible with generous support by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
I can just tell you're going to be photogenic.
Yes, we're going to make a human
Right
pyramid, and you'll be on the top.
We'll sit in Judy's lane.
Local government is a very important part of our daily lives. You might think the decisions that affect us most are made in Washington, D.C., but frequently what happens at the local level has the biggest impact. Safe and clean streets and parks, local ballot measures to ensure funding for police. These are just a few of the issues that matter most. At MetroEast, we provide gavel-to-gavel coverage of local government so you can see what's happening in your East County cities. Watch city councils, planning commissions, and school boards on these cable channels or online.